Under Title III, Craig Wyden provides limited funding for forest health-related educational activity at the county level. Shoshone County has made vigorous use of this funding as well. For example, in 2002, Jim C., a high school counselor and teacher, an outdoorsman, and a person with an interest in local history, came to the conclusion that it was a shame that the Pulaski Tunnel, where Ed Pulaski saved most of his crew in the big blow-up, and the Pulaski Trail had become virtually forgotten and abandoned places in Shoshone County.
There was little or no maintenance done to the trail or the tunnel. The trail became overgrown, there were brushy, wind-blown trees over it, and the tunnel itself was overgrown, and the opening had begun to collapse. So I thought something needed to be done to save this tunnel. We established a nonprofit group, we established a governing board, we held meetings, and eventually we got the Pulaski project online. Our goals are to save the trail, save the tunnel, educate the public about forest fire and forest management, and to provide a recreational opportunity in the form of an interpretive trail called the Pulaski Tunnel Trail.
He suggested that the educational value of Pulaski's heroic story and the great significance of the 1910 fire merited recapturing these sites for public use as educational, recreational, and historical resources. Jim C.'s idea soon expanded to include other elements, including a prospective interpretive center for the trail and an educational web page. The Pulaski Project was born. In light of its relevant educational potential, the Pulaski Project received modest support from the county's Craig Wyden Title III funds. That support, in turn, launched a number of new enterprises aimed at increasing public awareness. Following historian Stephen Pine's work, the working assumption of the Pulaski Project became, if the story of Ed Pulaski's heroism in the great 1910 fire helped consolidate the 100% suppression paradigm, then maybe the same story and history could be used to help emancipate us from that same paradigm. The project's plan to restore and develop the Pulaski Tunnel and Trail has proved to be popular not only in Shoshone County, but in nearby Spokane, Washington, and elsewhere in the Northwest. Senator Larry Craig and Idaho's other congressional representatives provided funding from Congress for the project, to be carried out by a partnership between the Forest Service and the Pulaski Project. Interest in the project has occasioned numerous newspaper articles on Pulaski, the historical significance of his story, and the new policy considerations that the Pulaski Project seeks to bring to a wider public audience. The webpage, newspaper stories, talks to community groups, invited lectures, and other project endeavors have all aimed at making use of the Pulaski story to raise consciousness and re-engage a wider public in the important forest management and wildfire issues facing the West.